Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And again, if this is your first time here, big thing we do here is focus on health and wellness for entrepreneurs and executives. That's where we focus. That's what we put our time and attention into. And we've helped over 500 entrepreneurs globally that have absolutely transformed themselves and thus their businesses. People that have sold businesses for 1.8, 1.9, and 4.5 billion dollars. People who are operating companies of 50 to 100 million dollars on a regular basis. And this is where people often get lost: is how do I truly put myself first so that my business can continue to grow? That we put so much emphasis on data and metrics and information for our businesses, but yet don't run ourselves that way. And we fail to be able to operate on a high level. So that's what we do here, is we give you the access to the data, to the information, and the application that truly changes this for you. So with that being said, be sure that you like this, be sure you subscribe, be sure that you share this with your friends so that, again, you can come back and see this week after week after week with all the information that we have here. I personally answer all the questions in the comments, make sure that everybody has access to me as much as we can, and making sure, again, that you get exactly what you need. So without further ado, we're going to dive in today 3 ways in which you can supercharge your sleep, again, and make that home field advantage, whether at home or on the road. So I'll just share my screen here. And so there's 3 areas that we need to look at: behavioral, environmental, and nutritional. So when we come and take a look at the behavioral things in which we're really trying to create change in, is it's all about this routine. And we have what we call a 3-2-1-0 rule. 3 hours before bed, no food. 2 hours before bed, no work. 1 hour before bed, no blue light. And 0 snooze hits in the morning. And the reason we do this is because if we're eating 3 hours before bed, our hormones are going to get all out of whack. If we're working 2 hours before bed, we're going to be too much in the sympathetic nervous system tone, and thus have an elevated heart rate, elevated blood pressure. Our mind's going to be going and not be able to fall asleep and truly optimize what we're trying to create at night. And then third, no blue light 1 hour before bed, because if we're exposed to blue light, it suppresses the release of melatonin. It suppresses the release of tryptophan, which are ultimately the precursors to having a deep and restful sleep. So these are the things in the routine areas that we can truly change, that are actionable and practical. And then obviously the no snooze button is making sure that we're getting up at the same time every single time. So again, we keep this routine going so we have the cortisol release. And an easy way to track this, an easy way to show whether we're doing this the right way or not, and to look at the quality of sleep, is getting one of these guys, a simple Whoop band, or one of these guys, a simple Oura ring. They're the leading edge areas in tracking sleep quality, because we know it's not just about quantity, but about quality. And if you go look at any of my past videos, I talk about the difference between quality of sleep and quantity of sleep. I debunk a bunch of sleep myths that are out there, because we know there's 4 things we can't live without: air, water, food, and sleep. If we don't get one of those 4 things over a significant period of time, we're going to die. So we know that. The second thing we can do is start to track HRV. And again, if you go to this video right here, you're going to see everything you need to know about HRV in 5 minutes or less. So what HRV is, it stands for heart rate variability, okay? And what we also know about heart rate variability is that it is the measurement of how our body's adapting to the stress and strain we're placing under it. It can be mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. Knowing that we want to be going into that parasympathetic state, so that rest, digest, relax at night, this is going to enhance our HRV. So if we track this and start looking at this on a day-to-day basis, if we're continually going downwards, we know that we're not doing something correctly. And so we want to see this upward trend over time, and we are going to start to understand what we need to change behaviorally to make that happen. Now, when we talk about the environmental aspect, this comes back to like our lair. How do we create this home field advantage no matter where we are? Whether we're traveling to Vegas, whether we're traveling to Europe, whether we're at home in our condo in New York City, or in our home in Miami, or up here in Mont Tremblant in our cabin we just built, there's 4 areas that we can truly optimize to make sure that we are sleeping the exact same way. Number 1 is light. Our body is made up of a whole bunch of cells that basically, when we see blue light from the sun or blue light from any type of object, it could be our laptop or it could be our iPad, it could be the laptop we're recording on here, it could be the phone I'm recording on over there, it could be the TV in the back room. Any type of blue light, it's going to suppress, again, like I said, melatonin and tryptophan, which is being released. So we want our room to be blackout dark. Okay, so we want blackout shades, zero light. This goes for the little dots of light on our TV. It goes for the lights coming off of our alarm clocks. It goes for a land-in light. It goes for the lights of anything we have plugged in. We want to eliminate all those because of all those cells on our body, the photo light receptors. It sends a stimulus to our brain saying, oh, it's time to get up. And it takes us out of those deep stages of sleep. So making sure we have blackout shades, okay, blackout shades, and making sure that we are not exposed to any light when we're sleeping. Conversely, when we wake up, we want to see the sun the first 5 minutes, okay, of waking up. So if we're in a hotel, getting up, pulling the shades back, getting access to it. Here in Mont-Tremblant, we have, it's extremely, extremely dark at night. There's no street lights, there's no nothing. And so when we sleep hard. But the first thing we do in the morning is, because we're exposed to so much light, is we are able to look out and see it in a really great way, okay? So first 5 minutes, make sure you get exposed to light. Sound. Big thing that we always see is that with sound, we want to either create no sound or consistent sound. We don't want to have a washer dryer running that's going to stop on us. We don't want to have a buzzer that's going off every now and then. We don't want to have cars driving by. If any of those things are the case, earplugs. Make sure we bring earplugs. Make sure we have those. And a little hack up here real quick, make sure that we have, again, a night mask if none of those things are available to us. It's an easy way to make this go. So we want to have it constant or none at all, okay? And we can do this from having a noise machine. There's apps on our phone that we can go on to create ambient noise at night. We can turn a fan on, so the fan is constant. But we want to create that same sound because it's going to keep us, again, in that deep sleep. If none of those are available, earplugs, okay? An easy way to shut that down and make it simple for us. Now, when it comes to temperature, this is the first thing that we do when we get to a hotel room up here. It gets cold at night. It gets down to about 55 degrees. So we sleep with all our windows open. So it's, again, nice and cool. The optimal temperature to sleep in is 62 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what we want to set our room temperature to, somewhere in that neighborhood. Again, why do we do this? The cooler our body is at night, the deeper and better stages of sleep we're going to get into. So if we're sleeping in a room that's 74, 75, 76 degrees, our body's continually trying to cool ourselves, cool the core temperature, which is preventing us from getting into those deeper spaces and deeper sleeps and recovery states at night, those slow wave and REM cycles. Okay, and space. We do two things in our room. We sleep and we have sex. So two things only, okay? S squared in our bedroom. And the reason we want to do that is because if we're eating in our bedroom, if we're working in our bedroom, if we're having arguments in our bedroom, if we're planning and doing all these things in our bedroom, our body doesn't get used to the fact that this is truly where we enter into this enjoyable space of sleep. We know what's happening here. It's no different than we should work in our office. We should cook in the kitchen. We should hang out and enjoy the patio, the deck, whatever it is. We need to make sure that we do those two things in the room, and that's it. Now, when it comes to nutritional, the big thing that overarches the whole part of this, the base of the pyramid, is quality food, okay? And if you go to any of my other videos that I just did on why entrepreneurs shouldn't cook, how to use DNA testing to optimize your nutrition, any of those videos on like what the optimal personalized diet looks like, that's the base of this pyramid. Everything else that we're going to talk about here from a supplementation standpoint is top of the pyramid things that if you're not looking after this, these things will do diddly poo. So you want to make sure that you're looking after these bottom things as well. But if you're doing all these, this is a way you can optimize them. Magnesium glycinate. The reason why we want to supplement magnesium glycinate, it is the truest form of magnesium that is highly absorbed into the bloodstream. Magnesium is the number one thing that we are deficient in, because magnesium responds to any type of sympathetic stimulus throughout the day. So it could be that we're feeling stress of getting dinner out on time. It could be that we're feeling stressed in our commute to work. It could be that we're stressed about a presentation we're making or a decision we're making. All of those things take magnesium out of the body. Now, if magnesium is continually coming out of the body, and magnesium is the precursor to tryptophan creation and ultimately magnesium creation, what are we going to have a hard time doing? Creating melatonin to sleep at night. So magnesium is the number one thing that we should be supplementing, and glycinate means it's heavily bioavailable and can be absorbed into the body. So this is number one. Number two is L-tryptophan. This is the precursor to melatonin. Now, why should we never just supplement melatonin? Because there's so many processes that go to the body that create melatonin production. Melatonin is a hormone. We do not want to be supplementing hormones. We can supplement minerals and vitamins that create them, so the body now generates the processes to get there. So tryptophan is another one that we can supplement that helps aid in the production of melatonin, that helps gets us into those deeper stages of sleep again. And then lastly is CBD. And I'm a big fan of CBD just for helping us get into that parasympathetic state, helping us rest, relax, and ultimately digest in that quality state in which we can sleep. So these are the three things. And where do we get them all? I'm a big fan of Thorne. And again, in the comment section down below, you're going to see a little link you can go to, or just send a comment to me and I can send you over a link. I love Thorne. They research everything to the nth degree. I don't get paid by them. I just love their products, and I'm a big fan of everything that they do there. So make sure, if we're going to utilize these things, that this is how we operate, and this is what we can do to, again, put ourselves in a better direction to get those high quality sleeps. So 3 areas: behavioral, environmental, and nutritional are the 3 ways in which we can optimize our sleep routine, optimize our sleep habits, and ultimately be able to continue to push and perform the way that we want to. Remember, this is for entrepreneurs and executives. This is so focused on this space because you guys are always pushing. You're always trying to get to that next level. And ultimately, we are the only ones that can do it, because we know that success is different. So we have to be different, and we can own it. Now, guys, if this is your first time here, again, like, subscribe, add comments, questions below. I want to be able to help you. I do this for you guys. I do this to be able to grow. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if you do need more help, we've helped over 500 entrepreneurs and executives globally really transform the way in which they perform and which they're able to do it on a regular basis. So again, feel free to reach out, share this, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.